Well, hi. Evidently, there is a bigger issue with the laptop than I realized. So, oh, that's a bad lighting situation. That's a really bad lighting situation. That's going to make me look scary. So, what I was talking about is well, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Mary Berry, for letting me know that the sound was not working. Got the camera to work, but there's still something going on with the microphone, evidently, even though it was giving me my little numbers and everything. So thank you for your patience. So this week, hi there. What I wanted to talk about was our soul self. And not only the complete soul self, but also the physical self and the how they communicate and what is the process in which we can build a relationship with our soul self. So we have this energy that is lifetime, right? Many lifetimes. Each lifetime we go around, there's a new learning, and that's why you end up with people who have amazing skill sets, these little guys that can play the piano and or dance or sing or do math or all of those things. Each lifetime that we go around, we build on the one before if we want to. Some people coast. Hey, that's their gig. I personally try to see how much I can get into one life as possible without totally exhausting my physical self. Don't always do well at that, but I'm learning. So this soul part, I wondered if people were aware that they even had this soul part. Of course, you hear about someone having no soul. Not really possible. Maybe they don't have a connection to their soul. Maybe they lost it somewhere along the way. But everybody has one. And I think the important thing to know is that when you are a soul and you're thinking about coming into another lifetime, you set the parameters. Like, you choose what it is that you would like to learn. And, in some regard, how would you like to travel in this lifetime? So, for instance, if somebody wants to learn how to self-inspire, promote, learn, they may be born in an area where school education or things of that nature, or even a family of that just doesn't promote that. And they have to dig deep into that soul place to figure out what they would like to have in their lifetime. And that might mean leaving their country. It might mean leaving the family. It might mean working 3 jobs in order to put themselves through school because it's such a desire from their soul's perspective that they can't ignore it. So our soul energy is something that is hardwired into us. And a lot of the times, if you look at your life and see where your challenges are, good indication that that's what you came in to learn. Because from the soul level, it just tends to be a little bit bigger than, say, a physical lesson of learning compassion. So if someone is coming into this lifetime to learn how to be in relationship and to be reciprocal in their relationship, they may find that they have a bunch of practice runs and that it's just more challenging for them to get the message. So you can look at your life, right? This theme is set before you come in. You can absolutely look at the life you're living right now, and with the exception of, you just being avoidant of something that's right there in front of your face, look where you bump into trouble, like you get into challenges and things, because that's a very good indication of where what your soul is wanting to learn in this lifetime. And I refer to it as the theme. Hey, Gina. Hey, Justin. Hi. Nice to see you again today. So as you come in, as we all come in as a soul, we have a theme that we would like to learn. For me, it's balance. I have a challenge balancing either working too much or and not knowing how to play, or being too serious and not being playful, or being too focused on others and forgetting about myself. So in my life, balance is very prevalent, because it's also a theme that, you could be balancing your checkbook. You have to for me, I have to be mindful and conscious of the fact that if I'm starting to feel less than Vicky, we can translate that to bitchy, then I'm out of balance. And it's one of the reasons that I enjoy running so much, because there's a message that goes to my brain, my physical brain, not my soul brain, but my physical brain, that talks about balance, because you're balancing one foot to the other, one foot to the other. And it helps me to reiterate that theme of wanting to, as best I can, create balance in my world, whether that's eating or communicating, or, sometimes I have to balance and just say, Vicky, shut up, stop talking so much. So there's a form of balance. So for me, looking at my own life and seeing where it created angst, or what tends to send me to a place of not being in my healthiest self, that's my theme. So your theme may be learning to listen to yourself and not take opinions of others so strongly, or as the word, right? So this soul self comes in. Well, the soul self makes a decision before it comes in on what it would like the theme to be. And then your physical self shows up in agreement. And I will grant you, sometimes the physical self is like, what the hell did you agree to? Well, I wasn't there. Because it can be, difficult. We never sign up for abuse, ever. So if you're having a session and somebody reads for you and said, well, in this lifetime, you signed up to be abused so you could learn, get up, walk away, do not pay the money, and don't listen to them. Because no one signs up for that. We may choose the family in order to learn, but we never choose the actions that other people use. So it is our responsibility to then listen to ourselves and get the heck out of those situations if it is abusive. So this physical being, oh, so glad, Dina, glad it hit ya. Well, I didn't mean to hit you. That would be abusive. So whatever your intention of your soul, whatever intention your soul set, I promise you it's for the expansion of you. It's not to hinder you or to cause problems or to give you the most, dramatic Velcro your forehead, your back of your hand to your forehead moments. It's not about that. It's about giving you opportunities to expand and to blend the humanness that is so fascinating, so much fun, to the soul expansion of that life, that multiple lifetime, eternal part of us, right? So we can keep building and keep building on it. The skills you have now, like, you are here to expand those. And I think if people knew that they have this soul connection with self, your own personal choice, that I think we'd lighten up a little bit. And I think we'd also be a little bit more accountable, because it isn't what other people are doing to you. It's what are you doing to yourself? Are you listening? Is there a desire within you that you keep pushing away? Maybe that's that soul putting on your old noggin to say, pay attention. We could do some really great things here that could help others if you simply listen to yourself. So my question would be, what are you doing with that? Like, maybe you just now know that your soul set an intention, so we can let that sink in. You can have a few moments of assimilation, or days, weeks, whatever you need. Don't take too long. These lifetimes do roll into one another. And I personally think that as much as you can do without taking yourself out of the game exhaustion-wise, we should do. So the the connection that needs to be made is the fact that you do have this intelligence. So you have your soul that has a super consciousness, right? It has an intelligence to it. And then you have your physical brain, which hopefully has an intelligence to it. And then you have your heart and you have your gut. And all of these can work very well together if you are willing to have them all be in the room together. And the room would be you. It would be your vessel. So if something's not making sense to your physical head, maybe you need to step out of the logical space and you need to go to that more expansive soul self and just say, well, what do you want to tell me? What would you like to communicate? The soul will always be supportive. It doesn't criticize. So the message that comes from a soul place might be, do you need more information on this? What feels right to you? It's always going to be in an expression of feeling. How does that, how does it resonate with you? So a lot of the times, if somebody's too much in their head, I will ask them to just forget they have a brain. Ironically, if you can get somebody to drop down in their body, they'll make a stronger connection to soul, which is not up there. It's just higher in vibration. It doesn't live up there. Just to disconnect that thinking space, right? So have them take a couple deep breaths. Your breaths will connect you to the soul place. See, all of these systems are meant to work in tandem. They're meant to help each other. And I think we've gotten separated from it. And by allowing yourself to acknowledge and then act on the fact that you have these layers, it brings a calmness to the very real aspect of being human. There are a lot of moving parts. There are desires that are there that are of the spirit and of the body. And to blend those, you end up with a very nice cohesive mechanism in which to travel through all of your lifetimes. Now, you can wait a few more lifetimes if you want. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. You know, if the idea of acknowledging the fact that you have this massively amazing eternal part of you that can be accessed, if that freaks you out, well, just wait till next lifetime. You're going to get there. We are all in a process of expansion. That's why we come in. The soul wants to learn. The human self has a brain. They're buddies. So if we start connecting to them, well, personally, I believe we do less physical lifetimes, and I'm all for that. As much as I love the curiosity of the human form, I think it'd be kind of cool to be a spirit guide, don't you? So whenever I'm getting too much in my head and thinking too much about what needs to be done or the perception that I think what needs to be done, I step into that soul place and take that deep breath and ask, what is it that my soul would like to tell me? It's not a yay, get cheerleading or anything like that. It's actually a very reverent, quiet request to join the systems. And I recognize that not everybody is of this mindset, that we have these amazing levels of awareness that we can tap into. That's the beauty of being your own being. You don't have to, and I hope you wouldn't, force this idea on anyone else. You just allow it to drop in and allow that peace that's within you to emanate out, and then hopefully, affect other people. Somebody said to me this last week that I have a very calming effect on them. And I appreciated that she said it. And then I thought about it and I'm like, well, where's that coming from? Am I turning myself down in order to, balance, there's my word again, other people's energy? Because that one's been a challenge for me. And then I came to a place, no, I'm good with me. So that radiates out a calmness, because I don't feel like I have to do anything for her. I can be there and I can be present, and I can bring my soul energy in that creates that affect of calmness, but it's mostly because I know I've got backup. That soul knowing is your backup, and it often translates to your gut. So when somebody is saying, when that expression of trust your gut, our solar plexus, which is our third chakra, is our first psychic sense. So it's the very first place that we actually get and receive knowledge. And we can access that by simply by acknowledging that there might be more than this physical experience that we're living. And once you do that, it activates, and it starts to, send little bing, 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 bings all over the place, and enhances the connection between the all of your systems. So it's like your computer has a hard drive, and it has programs that are running and apps that are running and all that kind of stuff. We're the same. So the hard drive would be the soul. It's where everything gets saved, all your lifetimes, all your many experiences. The programs are the different lifetimes that you've had. And in this lifetime, you're running your program, whatever version you happen to be on, hopefully doing updates. The apps are where you fly with me. I'm doing this on the fly here. But the apps are where you get new skills, and you get excited about it, and you want feedback. Like, some of my favorite apps are the ones I use for running, or for the feedback of heart rate and that kind of thing, because it lets me know something that's going on that I can't necessarily feel within myself, and I certainly can't in the moment accurately detect. So your apps for your lifetime are how you feel. Your emotions are your apps. So if you're with someone that just triggers or is frustrating for you, you need to check your own personal app and see if there's an incompatibility there. And I don't know if you can delete an app of another person, but I'd be willing to try that. You just hold down on it till you get the little X, and then it deletes it. So it can be frustrating once you realize that we all have that soul process, but it can also be a lot of fun. And I don't want you to go around reading people without permission, because that's just rude. But if you want to practice this, of what might someone's soul theme be, just if you know them well enough, what do they bump up against? Are they horrible at managing their finances? Are they someone who can't be authentic if they were smacked with an authentic stick? Are they someone who can't maintain a job? Because the soul comes in to learn things, but it needs to work in tandem with the physical self, so that you'll often see an overlap. Okay? So don't get mad at other people or frustrated with them. Acknowledge and look and see, wow, I wonder what their soul theme is, because that will allow you to have some compassion and not want to hit them with the authentic stick, because that's abuse too. See a theme here? So each time you come into this physical world, there's a desire to improve on this physical aspect, this being that, not the individual being, but the being a human. Okay, so each time we come in, we want to enhance that and kind of level up, like in a game. And no, we don't cross species. You were not a cat in a previous lifetime. I don't care who wants to be a unicorn, and not everybody was Cleopatra. Just be willing to be the person who, did a good job being a good civilian. So you may have queen tendencies, but that does not mean you were royalty. But bring those skills forward and ask yourself how you can improve on being your human self. Most of the time it will come down to owning your own stuff, not carrying other people, and recognizing that responsibility and accountability are a lot of fun, because when you finish this lifetime and you do that review on the other side, you are the only one sitting there. No one else is present to be in judgment or observation. You are the one sitting there. So each lifetime, it will be very familiar to you once you croak that you've been through this. And I don't know about you, but I want to arrive in a space where I'm watching and knowing, okay, could improve on that, and did a good job there, and what's my next mission, and to be really appreciative of the fact that I understood I had a soul theme. I met it with my physical self, and we rocked this human thing out. So the connecting of the dots between that soul self and the human self can actually help you feel eternal while you're here. Now, that doesn't mean try to jump off a building without a parachute. It simply means that you have a trust that whatever's going on, you really are okay. And I'm not talking about denial. That's a very different frequency. But you have an actual trust that whatever is being presented to me, I can shift my energy and I can look at it another way, and I can maybe affect the outcome. But I'm willing to look at whatever this movie is now, because I understand I'm looking at the long haul. I'm looking at many lifetimes. That doesn't take you, I feel, it doesn't take you away from being in this lifetime. I think it has us be more present, because you want to glean as much as you possibly can out of every interaction and every situation. And that's where curiosity comes up. When you have a little bit of peace about this eternal thing, the physical stuff just is less cumbersome, less heavy. So, you know, I like that challenge at the end of a broadcast. So, some of the ways that you can connect that soul to humanness, this first one's gonna be your toughest one. All you have to do is acknowledge the fact that that's possible. If you're in a place where you're receiving it, great. Take a couple minutes to take some breath. And ask yourself, how do I want to work in cooperation? Because a lot of us work opposite, like we have a friction with it, almost like we're denying our amazing selves, and we're denying the beauty that is a soul. And if I do anything on this planet, I will get you people to love yourself somehow. You don't have to announce it to other people that you're I'm currently taking up the practice of connecting my soul self to my physical self. They're already connected. It's the awareness that needs to start to come on board. Okay, but you don't have to announce it, because some people might not be there yet. That's fine. Meet them in a couple lifetimes later. You're not going to get it all done. You are eternal. And I know for some of you that like a list and a plan, and to know that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, this might be a little disconcerting, but it's the truth. Like, you're never going to get everything done. So maybe you take those few minutes to sit on a couch and snuggle with your partner. You know, maybe you pause alongside of the road because you saw the most amazing sunset, and you just want to absorb that. That will go to the soul level. It'll also help your blood pressure, and it'll elevate your own frequency. There's a relief in that too, because even when there's a huge to-do list, you can know that everything's in motion, right? It's that, to me, that's not like, some people say that, and I feel like it's a way to not look at what's a priority or what's feels a little bit heavy at the moment. That's not what I'm asking for. I don't do fluff. So the sayings of, be present and to know that you're not going to get it all done is not to brush away what needs attention. It's simply to have you arrive in a place of ease, because once you do that, you drop the resistant energy, things flow and stuff gets done. And you look back on your day and you're like, wow, I kicked booty today. So ask yourself, what are the challenges that I face in this lifetime? Is it trust? do you have a hard time trusting other people? And you may have good reason. You may have had experiences where people didn't shine to their brightest light. But you know what? The trust has to be there within self. And that's what your soul would be asking you to do. Just trust in me, trust in us, that we've got this and we'll travel together and we'll tweak it and figure it out and learn and grow. But mostly we'll have fun doing it. So being able to hear all these things, assimilate them, and maybe want to do it, those are great. But you have to take action. And that's the physical part. That's why we have a physical body. It's like the enter button, right? Your soul sends the sentence out and the intention of what it would like to learn in this lifetime. But if you just sat around eating bonbons and never challenged yourself, or never saw an opportunity, well, then there's no action, and then your physical self doesn't contribute. And that's a complete waste of a lifetime. So, take some time to meet up with you. You will know when you're connecting with your soul self when you feel calm, solid. Also, when you feel really excited about something, really lit up, and you almost can't contain all of the energy. That's your soul self saying, you absolutely have got this. So I hope that you will interview your soul self and meet up a little bit, give a handshake to it. I'm quite proud of the graphic that I created around this. So check out the Facebook page in a couple hours. It'll have the picture up there when it auto posts. And then, but please, most importantly, would you please be proud of yourself and give yourself a good hug and a high five for choosing a lifetime, choosing whatever your soul intention is, and being excited about meeting that. Because the more you acknowledge it, like the more I look at the areas of balance that can be in my life, the more relaxed I become around it. And that's part of the intention, right? Is to get to completely enjoying our physical experiences. So thank you very much. Can you tell it's one of my favorite subjects? So I hope you all have fun meeting your original best friend, that soul of yours, and that you enjoy getting to know it. So I could see all your souls. Wouldn't it be more fun if you could see yours? So, gotta go. I adore you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye. I'll figure out the laptop by then. Bye.